The problem is that there are good reasons to classify documents to protect sources and methods. If somebody found out information in a surreptitious way, let's imagine a CIA operative inside Russia, and the fact that that happened, or even the name of that person is disclosed, that person is likely to be pushed out of a window. So we don't want to reveal the sources, even technical sources, satellites and where they might be located, that lead us to find important information about the motives and intentions of our adversaries. A bad reason to classify is to protect your turf. You don't want other people to know what you know, or to protect yourself from embarrassment, meaning you screwed up and you don't want people to know that happened. That is not a justification to classify, and yet people do it all over the government, and there are multiple classification systems, and that prevents us from curing the problem we faced on 9/11, which was when the need to know trumped the need to share. And we had information about these hijackers. We knew that there were people training on airlines. We had some other information we had an FBI informant in San Diego, and yet that information was not put together in the FBI and in the government to lead us to know that there was possibly a plot inside the United States involving airplanes. So I authored legislation a bit later, but we still have the problem of overclassification in the government, which does not excuse anybody from taking documents marked classified to put in boxes or show to friends.
I understand that, but what I'm hearing, and I have been surprised to learn about just how much information gets classified, is that a lot of classified documents do not contain any sensitive information. How is that? I'm sure that our audience is not aware of that. So how is that possible?
Well, I don't think that is technically the case. People who classify documents claim to have a reason to do it. The only good reason to classify documents is to protect our sources and methods, how we got information. One of the problems, among many, is that there is not so-called portion marking. So if you have a document, I'm writing you a document, and it's about hot dogs, but in there it says that Vladimir Putin has some kind of a lock that's illegal on the hot dog market. What should happen with that document is the general description of hot dogs should just be available, and that one portion that says something about Putin doing something nefarious that is a secret that we don't want people to know should be classified. That's called portion marking. The other problem we have is that agencies have different classification systems. So if you're reading, I'm not sure this is still true, a DOD document, it may not have the same classification as pick another place, CIA document. I'm quite sure that's been corrected, but maybe not as a Homeland Security document, and that's another problem.